I serve you all. I am with every one of you. And you work on your learning curve at all times, and it is the same as your life here on earth. Our creating essence oozes love, joy, and infinite awareness. With unlimited power to fulfill our heart's desire, we are powerfully present in awareness of our infinite abilities, based in the enhancement of all life everywhere. Living in conscious creation of our life experiences permeates our attention. Now, yes, some children don't really suffer from this, but other kids really aren't wired that way. People wouldn't even think it was acceptable to force all adults to sit still at a desk for hours at a time. So why subject your children to that? Furthermore, some parents let their kids spend too much time behind screens. Then you have situations where a child grows up with just one parent, which naturally leads a kid to wonder, was I not good enough for that one parent to stick around for? Well, you see, I am there with you anyway. But you have to encounter things and happenings in your life to learn, so that your soul can grow. I can never roll out a safety carpet for anyone, so that you would be protected 24/7 all days around the year. No, that would be a mistake from my part if I did that. For your soul has an ambition. You as a sovereign soul has a free will. And I can never hinder your experiences that your soul wants to learn more about. So it might seem that I am not so very nice at times. It is okay if you are angry at me because you don't fully understand your soul purpose. I'm always around. I always know what is going on. You can always call on me. I always love to see you. Being incarnate as humans is the most condensed form of conscious being. Because we inhabit a greatly condensed energetic reality, we must intentionally choose to direct our attention to what we most love and desire in ways that enhance life everywhere. By aligning with the vibrations of gratitude, love, and joy, we open our awareness to experiencing them in our imagination. With practice, apart from any limiting beliefs, we can direct our imagination to the kinds of visions and scenes that we feel completely good about, to the point of creating powerful feelings about them. Living here in the world of humanity does not exclude greater awareness. If we desire it deeply and imagine ourselves participating in its energy, we can open our awareness of the light in the essence of everyone, even the darkest beings. As long as they are alive, they receive divine life force, which they are free to choose to use as they desire. Then a lot of children are trained to stop listening to their bodies because they're told, you will eat this no matter whether you want to or not. You will sleep during these times, whether you want to or not. Now, of course, I am not saying that children should be allowed to eat candy and watch television all day. That's the other extreme. A happy and healthy middle should be found between those two extremes. Also, some children are more or less indoctrinated into the views of their parents, not really being presented with alternative worldviews or religions. Well, the parent might have an attitude of, you're technically free to choose what you want. It's just that if you don't believe in my religion, then you're going to hell. Or if you don't adopt my political worldview, then you're part of the problem and harmful to society overall. And while that's again normal, this is actually pretty heartbreaking if you think about it. You could almost call it emotional blackmail. No wonder that Earth teenagers sometimes rebel so strongly against their parents. You knew one day in the far distant future, in a galaxy far, far away, you were destined to be a part of this high vibrational frequency. An evolutionary shift in consciousness as it is occurring at this time. Destined to be a part of it. Be a part of the first wave of ascension, preparing the way for those to come after you. Yes, you are the wait hours, or ones that indeed you have been waiting for. You yourself, not us. Be the Pleiadians or the Syrians or the Agathans. Any of the other civilizations that are here assisting in this planetary evolution. Solar system evolution, and even this galaxy evolution that is occurring. We are all here to witness this, to watch this, to be a part of this in whatever expression that we can be part of. But alas, we cannot yet become too involved in your evolutionary process, other than to be here at a moment's notice. But of course I protect you also, many times. For every new experience in your life, you learn something and you and your soul grow. If you tend to be afraid of things in your life, make sure you work on inner faith symbols as a beautiful garden of peace in your heart. Use your inner sanctuary as a means to let go of worries and fears, and this will aid you many times over. For when you are in a good state of heart and mind, you will attract just the same. Just remember that you attract what you think of, and you attract what you vibrate. So let go of worries. Let go of fear once and for all. Attract the good vibes. Attract the positive things in life. And why? Because it is your right. You should not ever give this up. Their desire, however, is to experience extreme separation in consciousness and life force from all other beings and things. While trying to control everything, this is the realm of our ego consciousness. Because of our self-limited consciousness, we hold fear of the unknown and ultimately of termination. These are our limitations, even though in our essence we have the capability. It is a great challenge to be aware beyond space-time from within humanity's compartment of consciousness. Obviously, the play we're acting in is designed to make it virtually impossible to transcend. Yet, we long for this ability. We have blinded ourselves to it by allowing ourselves to be deeply taught to give the empirical world our full attention and awareness, to the point of becoming fully involved in our vibratory alignment. We even punish ourselves and one another for transgressing the limitations we have imposed on ourselves through holding beliefs about ourselves. For us to allow expanding awareness, we must recognize, understand, accept and transform our limiting beliefs through realizing our true non-localized self. Straight-up physical abuse is thankfully somewhat rare. But a child not receiving enough love and attention is very common, and that by itself can be very damaging. Or a child only receives love if they achieve something, or they only receive attention if they get into trouble. It's not actually okay to give a child a lot of love and praise if they achieve something, and to be cold and critical towards them if they fail. That is almost like a parent treating their child as a dog that needs training. On one hand, it makes a cold kind of rational sense. However, on the other hand, it can make people anxious to even try new things at all. Because their parents and later their internalized parents may be harsh towards them if they fail. So, to avoid the pain, it's safer to just not try. And of course, there's children bullying each other or excluding each other, and adults not addressing this properly. So, why am I saying all of this? I am saying all of this because some of you are being held back by the belief that your childhood was fine, or that it was mostly fine, when it really wasn't. Of course, some people genuinely had fine childhoods. We are a part of your consciousness here. Raising your consciousness is a delicate process. Let's say we'll only allow enough energy various times throughout this process to be able to come into the planet, be able to be absorbed in your body. For your bodies, your physical bodies as carbon bodies cannot handle the higher level energies. That is yet to come in, so your physical bodies are indeed changing. Carbon to crystalline. That is in the process of happening. This, my friends, is why when you say here that there are going to be many that are going to be leaving this planet, that is why, because they will not be able to handle the entire energy. Their physical bodies, their central nervous systems will not be able to handle it. And they, many and many more yet, have chosen to leave the planet in various ways of exiting. But that is not for you to be concerned about. You can only do what you can do. You cannot convince anyone to go against their path. For their path is their path, just like your path is your path. Everyone has the right to choose their path and where that path will take them. So for you, each of you, the Wayshowers, it is almost time, I say, for the movie, as you have been told, to end. This is a movie playing out in front of you. But this movie coming to an end is not that far off. But it will be in stages, or, as you have heard, various phases. Yes, indeed, you are in the process of entering Phase 2. Phase 2 will be a very quick phase, I'd say, compared to the earlier one. Then each one after that will be even quicker. Might say time itself quickens. Time itself is speeding up. That is all purposeful. In order to know who we are as expanded beings, we must transcend space-time by freeing our awareness to recognize the frequencies and polarity of the way we think and feel in every moment. If we choose to think about our inner light, we can realize the radiant effect we have in our attention upon the energetic patterns we hold in our imaginary awareness. We can be as open as possible to the kinds of scenarios we most deeply desire in every moment. By recognizing the presence of love, as well as the energetics that diminish it, we can direct our attention to vibrations and scenarios that enhance life in every situation, including the most difficult. When we pay attention to our essence in the heart of our being, with practice, we can sense the wonder and awesomeness of our true self in its eternal presence. Would you be fine with your own children living your childhood? If not, why not? The unfortunate truth is that children don't yet have the psychological tools and maturity and perspective that adults have. And so even relatively small amounts of pain or neglect can have deep, potentially lifelong consequences. And that is really unfortunate, and this also makes it important for people to examine their childhood. Because awareness is the first step in healing. Of course, people usually don't want to conclude that their childhood was damaging to them. Not only can that be a very painful realization by itself, but it also often puts a person in conflict with their parents, who often think that their child had a normal and therefore fine childhood. And of course, people usually love their parents and don't want to get into conflict with them or hurt them. However, just because Earth children are hurt and controlled and slightly emotionally neglected all the time, just because those things are normal in the sense that they happen often doesn't mean that these things are fine. Those things can in fact be deeply painful and damaging. Just because something happens all the time doesn't mean that it's okay or harmless. But the time is ahead, although maybe somewhat rocky at times. They will be revealing the truth that has been held back in the shadows for so long, but not to be held back much longer. For the truth indeed shall set you free, not only you, but mankind that is ready for this evolutionary shift. We are ready. The Galactics, we the Pleiadians, all of those other civilizations, we are ready. Again, at a moment's notice, to be of more and more assistance. And indeed, our ships will be shown more and more over the coming days, weeks, and months ahead, leading to the culmination. I don't exactly say when that culmination will be, but it is coming. I am Kara. I leave you now in peace and love and oneness. And know that I, as Kara, will be here with you more often in the time ahead now. There has been the time off, you might say, where my energies were required elsewhere. Because of my connection with so many of you that are on this call, those that will read and understand these words,